exit status, functions, right? So those things we have already discussed. If I go to CD script, so we have discussed exit status, functions, loops, conditional statement. Okay. So we will talk a little bit about um, yeah. So we will discuss a little bit about the argument, script argument. So when we say script argument, so script argument is basically what does it mean? So at runtime, if you want to pass some argument, then you use script arguments. Okay. So this will be passed on the command line. And these arguments make your script dynamic. You don't need to hardcode the values like file name, username, directories, etc. inside your shell script. Example. Example is $0. So these are some script arguments. $0. So $0 is basically name of the file or name of the script. Then after that, you are having $1 first argument, $2 second argument, and so on. Then if you want to see all the arguments as separated words, then you can use dollar and add symbol. So what it will do, it will show you all arguments, right, as separate word. If you want to see how many arguments I have passed, then you can use dollar and hash. So it will tell you the number of arguments. 3, 4, 5, how many you have passed. Then we are having one more, which is dollar and asterisk. So it will show all the argument as a single string. All the arguments as single string. Right? So these are the basic syntax of using the argument. So let us write a simple script, and we will see that how we can use or how we will understand these, our arguments. So I will create a directory called args. And here, what I will do, I will create a basic, I'll say nano basic underscore args dot sh file. Here, what I'm doing, echo, and I'll say script name is $0. Same way, I'll say echo if I want to see the first argument. So I will say first argument is $1. Same way, I'll say echo second argument is $2. Okay. Now, if I say how many total number of arguments, so I'll say total number of arguments $, hash right? So let us save this, and let me give the permission to this file. So now I will say dot slash and this file name. I will just pass some argument. I will give as you can give arg1, arg2, say arg3. I'm passing multiple three. So now you can see that my script name is this one, and my first argument is arg1, second argument is arg2, and total number of arguments which I have passed is arg. Uh, it is arg3. We will use total number of arguments are 3, right? So now you can use that also other strings, like if I say echo, and you can say all arguments, and we can use $@ symbol. Same it. You can see all the argument as a single string. So I'll say echo, and I'll say all args single string, and you can say dollar and a string. Now let us save this and execute this one. So now you can see all as a separate word and all as all arguments which we have passed. Okay. So it's a one string, and these are multiple strings. That is the difference. So you can use this these basic syntax of script arguments. Now we will see some real-time example or admin level example. Consider you want to check the mount point. If I say df minus h, so you can see that mm, my root is having 21 GB available space, and we are having 5.6 GB used, and total size is this. So consider, uh, means we can use this command like something like this, mount point, and which is root. It will show up. So this is a single command, but I want to use in the form of script, right? So what I'll do, I'll create um, nano and disk space dot sh file. Okay. So what I will do, I will create some variable. I will say mount point equals to, and I want this values to be picked up from the argument at runtime. So $1. Now, if I say if this string is not 0, okay, so we use option -jet, which we have discussed earlier, right? And I want to check the value of this dollar mount underscore point. Okay, so I want to check it should not be a 0. If it is non-zero, then I want to tell the usage, right, of my mount point, right? So I will say echo usage of $1 mount point is, okay, then I will show it into the next line. So I'll say, I'll put fi, and I will run the command df minus h, right? This is the command which we have executed. And we need to take this mount point. So I'm using, I'm comparing if it is $1, which is the first argument, right? So I will say dollar and mount underscore. Okay. So let us try to execute this one. Now I'll say I will execute this and pass the argument. So I will say slash and this space dot sh, and I will pass slash home, for example. So actually, okay, one. So if it is 0, right? So it will not, means if I'm not passing the argument, then it will say not. So you can say mount point, mount point. So we'll give some meaningful message. So I'll say mount point is blank. And I want to exit from this program. So I'll say exit. Okay. So exit 1 means I'm just telling to the operating system that this is unsuccessful. So now if I pass something like this without argument, so it will say the if conditions message, because minus z indicates 0, means if the string is empty. So this is empty. So no, but if I use something this, so it will tell you the file system. So we have converted our df minus h in little bit more matured way into our shell script. Okay? So this way we can use the argument. Let us see one more example. So in that example, what I will do, I will just take source directory and destination directory, and I will, or you can say, take the backup. We need to do a backup of a particular folder, and we need to push it into a destination folder. Okay, so you are basically taking the backup and you are archiving it. So I'll say nano and backup dot sh file. So what I will do, I will take a source folder, which is my $1, and I will say destination folder, which is my $2. Okay, so this is my first and second argument. Now, if I don't have the source or destination, so it means total number of arguments is to be passed 2, which is the path, right? So if it is not, the total number of arguments are not equals to 2, then it means something wrong, right? So I'll put here if, and then $hash is not equals to 2. Okay, if the number of arguments are not equals to 2, then right, we'll say echo, and you can say something missing, source or destination. Okay, and I want to exit from my program, and I'll just simply say that there is exit status 1. Okay, 1 means something wrong. No, but if everything is fine, you can use anything. So move command, tar command, right? Whatever you want to use, right? So in that case, you can say echo. You can say dollar, or you can say backing dollar. Uh, source is into dollar destination. And we will just put here dot dot, let's say sleep for say 10 seconds. Okay. After that, means it is just showing. So I'll say uh, copy, move, or other commands, star command, whatever. So it totally depends upon you. So I will say copy, okay, my dollar source file into dollar destination. Okay. And then you can say echo, and you can say that backup is completed successfully. Yeah, I think that's it. So we'll take a backup of this.sh file, for example. But in real time, it will be your database file, your log file, or something. So first, let me give the permission. Now, if I say dot slash and backup.sh, if I don't pass the argument, it is saying something missing, source or destination. But now, if I pass the argument, which is true argument is required. So, for example, I want this uh, space dot sh is to be this space dot sh underscore eak. Something I want this dot sh file is to be backed up with disk space dot underscore back dot sh. So it is taking the backup, sleep 10 seconds, and after that it will run that copy command. Right? So backup is completed successfully. Now if I say ls, so you can see that there is a disk space backup.sh is done. Okay, so this is the another use case. So these with the help of these arguments, we are basically um, we are doing the things dynamically, right? So so that if we are uh, if we want something at runtime, so we can use these arguments. So now, for example, I want to, means that you can do by yourself. What you need to do, you need to pass the service name as argument and start the service if it is in stop state. Okay, so that thing you need to do by yourself by using this argument. Now, let us see how we can use the other argument, like dollar, at symbol, or etc. So means I want to use these words and I want to take these words in my loop statement. So we'll take the example of loop. So I will say nano loop dot sh or loop args dot sh. Right. So here, first I want to check that the number of arguments. For example, I want to I want to check multiple services, or I want to start multiple services, or I want to check if it is not running or running. Right? So those things I want to check with with these arguments. Okay, multiple arguments. So now, if I say dollar and hash, dollar hash is the number of arguments. If it is equal to 0, then nothing, right? Because there is uh, there is nothing to check because arguments are to be passed. I want to check the service status through loop. So now I'm saying then I'll say echo. Okay, please pass service names. And here I will exit because I don't want my program is to continue. Exit. So next thing is that if everything is fine, right? So what I want to do, I want to loop through each service name. So how to find the service name? That dollar, and because I don't want to take entire as a string, I want to take each word. So what I will do, I will run the for loop. I will say for service in, and I will pass dollar and add symbol. Okay. Then do and done. So what I want to do, I want to check the status of the service. I will say echo checking status of whatever service you have passed. You can pass 1 argument, 2 argument, 3 argument, n number of arguments. Status of service. Now we will check with that systemctl command, systemctl, and is active, and we'll say white, and the service name, which is dollar service, right? So this is, it will loop through each and every argument, dollar service. Right? Now, when you run this command, it will return a status. If the status is active, it returns 0. If it is not active, it returns non-zero value. So it means I can check if my last status, if and dollar question mark, it returns the last status. Right? If dollar question mark is equals to 0, right? So in that case, echo services, or you can say dollar service.
What is dollar question mark?
Dollar question mark, it returns that previous command get executed successfully or not. In our case, this is systemctl is active quiet service. So what it will do, it will it will check that this service is, if it is in active state, it will return zero. But how to capture that value? With the dollar question mark. So dollar question mark will check whether this returns zero or not. If it returns zero, then you can say this service is uh, in running state. Okay, so otherwise, else echo dollar service is not running. And then F1. So this way, uh, we can utilize our runtime argument for checking our services are in running state or not. So I will save this and we'll see some of the services, systemctl status httpd. So it is not running, right? Systemctl, and if I say sshd, this is running. And what else? Mm, cron b is also right? So we'll pass these three services. So first I will give chmod 777 to uh, file script. Now I will say that dot slash, and this first I will not pass any argument. So it will say please pass service names. Right? So I'm passing the service name sshd and httpt and cronly. So see, SSSD is running, HTTPD service is not running, and cron D is running. Right now, see, it will make your life easy if you are working as a Linux administrator. Write your own script, and instead of running the command, for example, you want to have 10 services to check, right? So you need to write systemctl, the systemctl. Now program it inside your shell script, and then you can then what you can do, you can simply say that uh, that these services are running or not, or if it is not running, let it start. Okay, so those things also we can do. Now you need to write one script, means you need to do it offline, right? So let me put those questions and not that here. So let me put it on the chat window. You need to do a log search with arguments. So what you need to do, you need to find the lines which are matching with a particular word. Okay, use these arguments. So that code, that script you need to try by yourself. And you just need to check that a log file, and log file is to be passed at runtime, and the uh, and the keyword which you want to search. If that keyword is found in your log file, it should return those lines. Okay. Hint is you need to use grep command to search the word in your log file. Okay. Now let us move to the next topic, uh, which is uh, which is again related to the validation. Validation means that whenever you are passing the argument, you need to make sure that the number of argument which you are expecting, like we were using backup and backup script, right? So in that case, I'm expecting there must be two arguments, right? So if I say cat and cat and say whisper. So here, what I have first, I have put the validation, right? Otherwise, what will happen if you don't put such kind of validation? Then, you know, maybe you will get the unexpected error if the number of arguments are uh, not same or which are required. So, so always whenever you are scripting using these arguments, then you need to make sure that you are doing the validation, and that validation will make sure that you are having required number of parameters. For example, you want to check a user exists or not. So to check that user exists, first I need to pass that username, at least one username. Right? So for example, if I say ID Raman user exists or not, so this command will return yes, user exists. So if I say ID Raman, if it returns some value, right? So it means that user exists. We have seen this example earlier also. And if you want to put this into a not on the screen, or you don't want to capture this output, you just want to compare that the user exists or not. So you can just put the output into a null directory. Okay, that also we have seen. You can refer the examples which we have discussed earlier. Right. So those things you need to take care while you are using these arguments. Any question, any doubt related to these arguments? Now,
Okay, good.
now let us talk about next topic, which is collection, or which is array. So array is the collection of elements. So array you have heard in some programming language, right? So um, once uh, you are having array means collection of element, then you can iterate or loop over the elements to perform certain actions on each item. For example, you want to check the services, pinging the server, right? Backing up the directories. You want to verify certain packages, right? So Let's take one example. So there is the collection of elements which are identified by their index values. First, second, third, right? So that way you can uh, get this, right? So, oh, sorry, I just put in front of ID Raman, but that's it is giving ID Raman there output. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's create a folder. So I will call it array. So, for example, I want to declare an array and I want to print each value of that array. So how we can do that? So I will say nano basic dot sh file. Now here I'm declaring some servers, for example. So how to declare the array? In parentheses. In the parentheses, each array, say web1, comma web2, comma web3. So everything I'm putting it inside this array. Now this array name is servers, and it is having three elements: web1, web2, web3. Now I want to say for s in, and I want to loop through this array. And you need to always use double quotes to retrieve the elements of the array or to refer to the array. So what is my array name is servers. So what is the syntax? Dollar and curly braces. And you need to say servers. And if you refer all the elements, you need to use @ symbol. Okay. So it is referring all these elements, web1, web2, web3. So now S will be looped through first web1, then web2, then web3. I just need to print S. So I'll say do and done. So I'll say echo and server name. I will print server name and I will put $S. Right. So let me give the no, here you can see server name is 1, 2, and web1, web2, and web3. So something wrong. 1 second. It should print in new line. Servers web1. I want to retrieve each element. Oh, sorry, it is not comma here. No need to pass comma. It is simple this. So that's what I was thinking. Why it is printing on a single line. So we will run now. So you can see web1, web2, and web3. Right? So this is the way we can declare the array and we can retrieve the array element. Now consider you want to access the element on the basis of array index. Okay, so here I'm uh, accessing using array element. Now I want to access using array index. Then same thing for, I'll say I in, I will use same thing, which is dollar and curly braces close, and then my array name and accent and square bracket close. So I want to loop through each element, but now I want to print the index. So I will have do and done, and I'll say echo and index is $1. Right? Index is $1, and sorry, not $1, $I, and it has value, which is I want to access first value. Oh, so I'll say dollar and servers, and value of I. So I'll say $I, right? So then anything else? Right. Right. So dollar, and at the end, oh, sorry, we need to part this question mark. So yeah, dollar, curly braces, question mark, dollar. Yeah. So this way we are printing with the index. So you can see index, which is web one. Again, I'm doing something wrong. Oh, I in mm-hmm. So I will be S right here and dollars. So there is to find the index value, I think we need to use this. 1 second, let me check that. Yeah. So we need to use exclamation, right? If you want to retrieve the elements, right? So here I want to take I as a numeric value, and that numeric value is starting from 0, then 1, then 2. So number of elements. So I will say that for I in and loop through this numeric index values. So we use exclamation and then the array and number of elements. So we'll take some basic example of this. We'll do the same thing, like I want to check my services in the array now, and I want to check whether those services are in running state or not. So I will say nano and services dot sh file. So I will take array services equals to. Now I will take the service names. So I will say HTTPD. I will take space, right, not comma. I will take cron D. I will take um, SSHD, and so on. Okay, I want to look through these each element. So I will say for service in this array. So this array is dollar and curly brace is open, curly brace is closed, and your services. And within the this, I will say symbol at, right? And at the end, uh, this, then we are going to do and done. And I want to just check whether that service is running or not. I will use the same systemctl and is active and hyphen white and my service name, which is dollar SVC. Okay. So now if it is running, so I will say if and dollar question mark and if it is zero, it's equals to zero, it means it is running. Or I will say service. I will take this variable dollar SVC is okay. Else echo. So in this case, I'm using array in argument. So I'm using the same example, right? So that you can easily understand that how we can convert that argument part into this uh, array. Okay. So earlier I was passing that argument at runtime, but now here I'm hard coding. But here I'm hard coding with the array value, which is collection. So it has its own advantages. That one uh, has another advantages. Means it totally depends upon that how you want to execute your script. Either you want the argument at runtime or you want the argument at in the form of array, or you want something which is to be totally means you want to run three loops. One loop for HTTPD, one for cron D, one for SSHD. So now see you are learning these concepts. Now whenever you are going to write the script, you need to use the best practice. Which one is better, right? So that totally depends upon that uh, what kind of requirement you are having. You want to make your script dynamic. You want to use array for collection, etc. Okay, so I'll save this and I'll give the permissions chmod 777 to services.sh. Now I'll say uh, // and services.sh. So you see, HTTPD is not running, cron D is running, and SSHD is running. Okay. So So this is a example of you know this is the example of your uh, monitoring service, right? You are monitoring something. Now consider you want to take a backup and you want to store that backup into some destination directory. So in that case, what you will do, you will take you will take some you will take one source directory and second destination directory. But if I ask you, can you create a script which will take the backup of multiple files? Means there are two or three files, right? And for each file, you need to take a separate backup. So in that case, maybe if, whether you are using the command line argument or you are writing a code, so it will be little, difficult without array. So for example, if I say I have that my source folder, which is a which is an array. So I'll say equals to, and I'll say, okay, I need to take the backup of file one. I need to take the backup of file two. I need to take the backup of file three, right? So in that case, I'm saying these three files backup is to be taken. And then you can create another destination array and you can say that file one will be file one, file one will be file one backup file, and file two will be file two dot backup file, and file three will be file three dot backup file, right? So if you have this kind of array elements, then you can say index 0 is my source of source array, and index 0 of destination is the index of my destination folder. Okay, so right. So this way, right? So this way you can use the array, and I would like that you can try this question by yourself. Let me write it on the chat window. So basically, what you need to do, create two arrays. One is source, and second is destination. Okay. Source will have list of files which needs the backup, and destination is having the destination path for the backup file. So take backup of each file to respective destination path. Okay. So that you need to do as an assignment. Okay. So two questions, three questions actually I have given you. So do you have any doubt? Any, both of you? You're clear about arrays?
We'll practice it and then maybe if any doubts, we'll let you know.
Yeah. So
So you sure, one doubt. So this, so first of all, to start up with, we can give multiple arguments. It's not that, like one or two arguments. We can give just that we are giving like dollar one, dollar two, dollar three. Like we can give multiple arguments, and dollar at means it will show all the arguments. And you and dollar ash will be for how many arguments we have passed. So total number of arguments will be displayed. Like if we are giving five set, then it will be like number of arguments we have passed, right?
yeah,
And um, and then dollar asterisk will be showing all the arguments in single line, right?
yes, single string.
One minute.
So those are the command line arguments. So means you are passing when you are executing means at dynamic level. But array is having a different use case. For example, you want to hard code as a collection. So this is earlier we were taking single variable, but now instead of single variable, you want that like you want to define four services and you want to do the similar kind of operation. Then what you can do, these four services, you can put it into a an array, and it will take from there first element, second element, like I was checking whether the service is running or not.
So example, if I want to check for say 10 servers I have and to those 10 servers, if in case I want to check if one service is enabled or is disabled. So I'm going to give the service name in a text file or like where I will be inserting that.
That file operation we have not discussed so far, but you can do it in a file, or you can do it as of now. Whatever we have discussed, you can pass it as argument, or you can take it as a one-dimensional array, and you can put this service name into your. Like here, I'm mentioning file one, file two, file three. So you can put the file that service name, service one, service two, service three. Okay,
No, this
so
file one, file two, file three, you're giving as service names, right? Like SSD or HTTP. But I'm asking, like, if in case if I need to find whether one service, say example, SSH is enabled or not in 10 servers, then where will I give that service
okay,
name?
okay. So you only want to check whether that service is enabled or active or not, right? So
Simply example, yeah.
yeah. So in that case, what we will do, um, I have written this code. So what you can do, you can just loop through these services, and you can say, uh, like in the case of enable, you can use enable, right? And you'll see if it is enabled, then don't put the else condition. Okay, simple if condition. If you say if it returns the exit status as 0, it means that is enabled, right? If else, if it is not, then it is disabled. So I will put all that service name into array. This is my array, right? Or second use case is that you can pass it as a argument. Right? Then you can take from that dollar uh, add symbol, right? So it will take from there, and you can look through that one. Means either way you can do. Understood?
Uh, I'll try this and come back to you if I
Yeah.
have. This.
Good, good. Guys, give me just 2 minutes. I'll come back. Just 2 minutes. So, so now this way we are basically using this array. Now, if you want to see the length of array, that also we can see. So, as an example, I'm here. I want to see how many array elements I am having. So I'll say echo and total services, which I want to check. I'll say total services. So what you can do, you can use that dollar and within curly braces, we need to give the services, our array name, but it should be prefixed with the hash. I'll say services and you know within that we'll put at symbol. So now if I save this, so you can see total services are big. Now, say an example. These are mutable, means you can change their value. You can modify, you can change, right? So uh, total number of that services which are running, which is from index number 0, then 1, then 2, right? So if I say that what is the service name which is at 0, okay? So I'll say echo and first service is um, so we can simply take that service name, which is dollar and curly braces, and my service name, which is services and save. Right, curly braces close. Okay, this is my first service. Right now, you can see my first service is HTTPD. Same thing if you want to access second service. So index number is basically starting with 0, then 1, 2, and 3. Now I want to check one more. Say an example. Uh, I want to update my array and I want to add one more element. For example, I want to check Nginx service also. So what I will do, so here the index number is 0 for HTTPD, right? 1 for crond and 2 for my SSSD. I want to add one more service. So I will say my service and 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. At third index, I want to give a new value, say something like Nginx. Now, so it means I'm adding a new value to my array. So now the number of elements, if you see after this, echo total services are, and you can just use this. Right? So you can see earlier it was 3, now it is 4, and now it is checking Nginx also. If you want to update the array element, that also we can do. So for example, if I say I want to update I want to update services, which is 1 means cron D jobs. I want to give some values, say unknown. So it means now my cron D will be updated with unknown value. So, okay, something wrong. 1 second.
It is not closed.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. So unknown is not running. So see, cron D, earlier it was checking cron D, but now I have replaced with the unknown keyword, unknown word. So now it is. So now if you want to delete a particular, I want to delete this unknown. One way is that means, for example, I want to use first and then I want to remove that element. So what you can do, uh, you can say unset. I will say unset and services and index number. So it will unset, it will not take now because that element is deleted. So now you can see it is not showing unknown now because that particular element is deleted. So I will give one question you need to practice. So if you practice more, you will get more. If you do more hands-on, you will get more familiar with this. So the question is that pinging multiple servers. So that you need to do with the help of these, you need to do with the help of these array. Oh, you, you are getting it, right? On the chat window, you are getting these messages, right?
Oh, yes.
So that is all about the arrays. So I believe you guys are now, means at least whatever I have explained, now it is clear to you, right? Array and argument part. And yes, you need to do bit practice for this to understand it in more or better way, right? And in my repository, let me just share my repository. 1 second. I will unshare and share it again. Right. So if you go to my repository, right? So here shell scripting. So we are at this place now, arrays, right? So here this is array, right? The one which I have explained to you, and all the examples, whatever questions I had given you, it is already solution is provided on these pages. So you just need to refer this. This is the one-dimensional array, means we are having one-dimensional array only. And here, whatever I have explained to you. So everything is here. Okay. And the argument, so script arguments, and you will find everything into these two files, $0, $1, $hash, and their admin level examples. Okay, so these things you need to walk through these, uh, you know, you need to walk through these files and the questions which I had given to you. And if you don't find the solution, just check these two links for means point number 10 and point number 2, 12, 11. And tomorrow we will be discussing about the file operation. And if time permits, we will discuss about the, so we are currently here. If time allows, we will discuss this logging and debugging. Okay. So we are almost reaching to the end of this intermediate level. Then we will see the advanced level. Okay. So, um, okay. Uh, okay. So, any question, anything? So then let's wind up this session now itself, and we will continue our discussion. Please do these questions, right? So it will be uh, helpful to understand these concepts.